Welcome to the stream looking at Fizban's Fizban's Treasury of Dragons. A relaxed scroll through the book. I have the book here, but obviously I'm not going to be like opening the pages. We're going to look at the digital version. So I buy these books. This has been flicked through once when I bought it, and that is kind of what happens. It takes me a while to get back, but yeah, I do buy them, and then they go on the shelf, and that is probably the last I ever look at them. Well, I thank you for coming, and hopefully we'll get through this fairly pain-free of technology glitches or interruptions. Okay, so don't know who Fizban's in. Is not right bothered, to be honest. But we do need some things about dragons, so I hope that this provides what is going to fill the hole. So, draconic races, subclass options. Okay, so Dragonborn for a start, and dragons themselves are just so amazingly cool, but overuse is something you want to avoid, because obviously the best thing about them is that they're sparingly used, I would say. So chromatic dragons, or chromatic dragonborn, so they have their specific types now. You have a chromatic dragon ancestor, granting you a special magical affinity, a breath weapon. So having a breath weapon, that is very cool. Chromatic ancestry, yeah, black acid, blue lightning, green poison, red fire, and white cold breath. Gem dragons are this new cool thing. So, gem dragonborn traits. Humanoid, you're medium, 30 feet. Choose one kind of dragon from the gem dragon ancestry table. So that would be amethyst, which gives you a force. So I'd probably choose amethyst straight away, because there's not much that guards against force. Crystal dragon is radiant, emerald psychic, sapphire thunder, topaz necrotic. Let's adjust that. A 15-foot cone for the breath weapon. 1d10 of your damage type increases to 2d10, 3d10, 4d10. That's quite good. I like a breath weapon. Metallic Dragonborn. Okay, so there was... I'm not seeing the repeat of... What are the colours that repeat? Some of them have the same breath weapons. Like, do 2 do cold and 2 do fire? And it was a bit... I found that a bit of a problem. At 5th level, you gain a second breath weapon. I didn't know that. When you take the attack action on your turn, you can replace one of your attacks with a 15-foot cone. Choose from these. Each creature within the cone must make a strength save or be pushed 20 feet and knocked prone. Repulsion breath and enervation breath. That is good. Subclass options. Monk gains the monastic tradition class feature, and a ranger gains the ranger archetype class feature. So, as a follower of the Way of the Ascendant Dragon, you decide how to unlock the power of dragons within yourself. So, a roll table, you honed your abilities by aligning your spirit with a dragon's world-altering power. A dragon personally took an active role in shaping your inner energy. Okay, so you've got backstory from interactions with a dragon. Draconic Disciple. You can reroll a failed check. You can damage a target with an unarmed strike and change the damage type. Okay. Wings unfurled. When you use your Step of the Wind, you can unfurl spectral draconic wings. I haven't seen anyone use these as of yet in any of my games, but I would like it just to see how they play. Aspect of the Worm at 11th level. When you create this aura, and as a bonus action or on subsequent turns, you can choose a creature within the aura. The target does a wisdom save and becomes frightened of you. I'm not overly keen on the frightened thing. A lot of dragons, but a lot of creatures, monsters cause people to do frightened rolls, and I just don't find them particularly interesting. But that's just me. What else we got? Drake Companion. Why have we got this? Let's have a look. See. So, Draconic Gift at 3rd level. The bond you share with your Drake. Oh, I must have missed the Drake bit. Drake Warden of. Oh, that's the Ranger thing they talked about. Oops. There we go. Your connection to the natural world takes the form of a draconic spirit, which you can manifest in physical form as a Drake. Okay, right. And these are how it bonded with you. For example, let's go number 5. An ancient draconic inscription on a standing stone empowered you when you read it aloud. I mean, it's just cool you got a dragon. I don't think anyone's going to really be drilling you down on why have you got that. So 14 plus PB? Am I stupid? What's PB? Oh, there we go. Proficiency bonus. All right, makes sense. Hit points 5 plus 5 times your ranger level. So this is the Drake, not you. What does it do? When you summon the Drake, you choose the damage type. It's quite cool how you can choose it in specific circumstances for what's necessary. It's a Swiss Army knife Drake. Melee weapon +3. So it's got a bite, but not anything. Not a range. 1d6 plus your proficiency bonus piercing damage. When another creature within 30 feet of the Drake hits a target with a weapon attack, the Drake infuses the strike with its essence. Another d6. Yeah. As I say, it's interesting. I don't really play as a character, but this is something that I would try myself. The Gem Dragon, Dragonborn, yes. Draconic magics or spells. Let's see. I don't recognize any of these, so these must be newish. A Shardalon Stride, 3rd level as bonus action. Billowing flames of a dragon blast from your feet, granting you explosive speed. Makes you run faster by 20 feet, and you don't provoke opportunity attacks. Yes, I can see why that would be good. 7th, what was level that? 3. Yeah, 3 sounds about right. 7th level, you draw on a magic, transform yourself, taking on draconic features. So you get blind sight. You can see anything that isn't behind total cover. So speed and sight. 7th level to get dragon sight. I'm not sure that's that exciting. A breath weapon though. 68 force damage. Okay, that's something that's worth having. Fizban's Platinum Shield, 6th level. So you need a platinum plated dragon scale worth at least 500 gold. That's that's a quest in itself, isn't it? Finding maybe a lair of a dragon that is no longer in that lair. Let's just check in there, see any interactions. If a creature is subjected to an effect that allows it to make a dex save to take only half damage, the creature takes no damage. Oh yeah, damage reduction. You fill a 20-foot cube you can see with fair and draconic magic. Roll on the mischievous surge. The smell of apple pie fills the air. Each creature in the cube must make a wisdom save or become charmed by you. Rowlathin's psychic lance. You unleash a shimmering lance from your forehead. What? If the named target is within your range, it becomes the spell's target, even if you can't see it. That's quite cool. 76 psychic damage. 4th level spell. Yeah, so you can upscale it for another d6. Rhymes binding ice. A burst, is it? Yeah. A burst of cold energy emanates from you in a 30-foot cone. Each creature in the area must make a con save, and it's 3d8 cold damage and is hindered by ice formations. Hindered being what? Hindered. Difficult terrain, is that what we're saying? Or until another creature within reach of it uses an action to break away the ice. So hindered being you can't move at all for a minute, I guess. That sounds like. Draconic Spirit. Check that you can see the top of that. You can't. Okay. So a large dragon. Yeah. Dragon Lance. A Dragon Lance is a renowned weapon forged from rare metal with the aid of powerful artifacts associated with Bahamut. You gain +3 to attack and damage rolls. Wow. That's good. When you hit a dragon, you deal an extra 3d6 force damage. Dragonlance, yep. By name, it's cool. By nature, it's cool. Hoard magic items. Oh, so these, I wonder if these are, yeah. You can, these magic items absorb the ambient magic of a dragon's hoard. So the more powerful they are, the more powerful the weapon becomes from the dragon. Ordinarily, a hoard item must steep in the dragon's hoard for 1 year to reach the maximum possible state. I mean, yeah, you can just hand wave that. When resting on the ground, the item points in the direction of the last hoard it's steeped in. The items bear against a swimming speed equal to their walking speed. No, don't like that. But yeah, Dragon Hoard's weapons. Like it. Draconic gifts. The death of a dragon can result in its power taking root in a character, whether that person is the dragon's chosen heir or the dragon's killer. Draconic marks. One or both of the character's eyes change colour to resemble the dragon's eyes or scales. Yeah, I think killing a dragon should be rewarded. I've even gone the solo route of having the people then refer to them as like Dragon Slayer and then their name sort of thing. But having actually their physical form changed because of some sort of, magical reward. I like that. Finding a really cool weapon in the hoard itself is cool. Try and get that back a bit. Role-playing dragons. So surely it's to say about every dragon's different, I would expect. Dragon appearance. Letters or symbols engraved on prominent scales. I like the idea of like being covered in weird runes. I mean, one eye milky, that's so standard. Extra horns or spines. It's hardly. Well, you know all the spines, you normally think, well, there's extra. It's just not. That's not great. Rings piercing crest or wing edges. Yes, that's good. So, dragon mannerisms. It rotates its head from side to side when listening or speaking. Tail writhes constantly. Yeah, I mean, if you put all these together, there's some nice little tables. The bond. I treasure one particular item in my hoard, a gift from a person I loved who is long since dead. What are the flaws of a dragon? Given the opportunity, I eat to excess and then fall into a long, deep sleep. Another dragon has sworn to find and destroy me. Dragon names? Elements. Oh, yeah, so you choose like a 4-part name. Like, well, we have to do it in. Let's go. Scad, Thrax, Churusvere. Yeah, they do have stupid names. What's this one in the picture? Claugiliamata. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why there's so many unpronounceable. See, it's called Old Norborn, that's easier. There's so many unpronounceable names in things like D&D and Lord of the Rings. Anything that's super high fantasy, and I'm trying to read it as a book, I give up because it takes me completely out of the flow of reading. Every time I stumble. Young dragon girls, adult dragon girls, not something I would use. Reproduction, couldn't care less. They just exist. Deal with it. That's a nice picture. The black draconic Ebondeath. I have heard of that. When a dragon dies a violent death, the dragon's power might linger in the corpse for a short time. Drinking or bathing in the dragon's blood, I like that. Lingering energies can cause serious injury even after the dragon's death, so it's not to be done, really. But I completely appreciate players who say, right, what can I salvage from the corpse of this dragon to sell on? And I've had people basically take scales to town and upgrade their armor for whatever dragon type the scales come from. I've said, that's the. What am I trying to think of the word? Resistant to cold or something. Whatever the dragon stat block has, their armor can now have some of that. I think dragon scales are very sought after, and somebody in town should be able to plate your sword or gauntlets or something in scales. I just like that idea. What, shape-shifting dragons? Oh, well, some can turn into humans. Cult of the Dragon adventure hooks. Yeah, I don't think I'd want the dragon to be completely the focus of an adventure. I think they should be rare. I think it's something that is out there and is a big problem. And but I don't think I would have the dragon be
the actual main mission. I like there to be a massive hurdle that the players having fun, and then I mean, certainly is the case when I play the games, that when I run the games, that when I say right, there's a dragon, all the players like sit up and like, right, stop messing now. This is a problem. But on the same token, I want them to have a glorious moment when they vanquish it. But a dragon will stay high enough away from the party. And you know, when you've got like, well, I did have a monk running around on the floor, sort of be like, I've nothing I can do. I can't do anything. Now, normal DM guilt will be like, oh, I've got to have the dragon swoop down and have people try to, have a punch of it or jump on its back. But no, that's wrong. I think a dragon will just toast you. That's why they're a problem. It'll get its breath weapons and move around the place. And you've got to always think, well, what if we come upon a dragon? How will I deal with it? And if you're a silly little monk who can't reach, then you have to think of something to do. All the monks giving grief to wizards for having low hit points or whatever, and then all of a sudden, who's laughing now? Kind of idea. Yeah, followers of dragons. Not sure I'd use any of that. And also, yeah, it says companions behind myself there. They always have minions, don't they? That's the idea. Should people who are trying to get on the side of the dragon. What's that say? The magic that suffuses a dragon and the lair can sometimes extend to encompass the minions as well. I am a fan of that. Explosive minion. When it dies, it releases a burst of energy in a 5-foot radius sphere. 5-foot radius. That's just... So 5 foot right around the square that it takes up. Anyway, 1d8 damage of the type that its master breath weapon deals. Minions can't be compelled to act in a way contrary to its master's instructions. Oh, when the minion dies, its master regains hit points equal to 4 times the challenge rating. Hey, that's good. Imagine the souls streaking up to the boss. That's quite cool. Kobolds are generally said to help out the dragons out there. Dragon encounter complications. Okay. Oops. You can tell I haven't used this way for a while. The dragon has no interest in fighting. Skip. The dragon is too bored to fight. The dragon hates a certain type of character, usually wizards, I would say, and directs at least one attack each round at such character. Yeah, the person who's most likely to slay the dragon, I imagine the dragon will take out. Spell effects and breath weapons used inside the dragon's lair cause dramatic destruction, including chasms opening up, ceilings collapsing. Yeah, environmental effects, absolutely. That's what's involved in the good combat when the scene's changing. You could have the entire floor fall out of this cave complex, and then everyone's fighting as they're sliding. Awesome, in my opinion. Dragon Adventures, Dragon Campaigns, Dragon Gods, Lairs and Hordes. Okay, let's go Lairs. Did I say Hordes or did I say Hordes? Dragon Hordes. The area is climate anomaly, a cool and lush oasis in a hot desert, a balmy stream within a frozen tundra. Wild Magic Zone, that's an easy one. Have all your spells go strange. You know, Beholders, the lairs of Beholders cause, I think it's like a mile out, for like eyes to pop up, just the feeling of being watched. And I always drop those hints to my players. You feel like you're being watched. And I'm hoping that one day they're like, there's a Beholder lair somewhere around here. And so the lairs of dragons should also have these sort of things where people are like, okay, I think what the DM's saying is there might be a dragon around here. This doesn't make sense though. The area is a vast crater at the center of which is a long buried meteorite. Oh yeah, dragon. There's no relation. So I mean that's not actually saying the lair effects, to be fair. That's saying where the dragon has chosen to go. But yeah, you get my point. I like some tip off that there are dragons around here. Maybe a lot of scorch marks, you know. I mean, that seems very simple. Oh yeah, Chris, well done for coming up with that. But you know, I mean, a lack of cattle, huge, where it's laid this huge dragon and broken trees from its wing flapping. You know, scale them all up so it's like, I'm telling you, there's a dragon. And just watch their faces. Lair actions. Now we're getting towards what I'm after. Lair rejuvenation. It regains hit points by drawing on the magical energy suffusing its lair. Anything that keeps my dragons alive longer, they have to be formidable. Any creature that took damage from the breath weapon on the previous turn immediately takes 3d6 damage. Yes. I'm sorry, but that might seem unfair, but I love it. Dragons are the pinnacle. There's a pinnacle out there. Dungeons and dragons. That's like, dungeons are like the highest reward for the players, and dragons are like the biggest problem for a player. That's how I see it. Toughened scales. Oh yeah, resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, slashing. I mean, you can't do it across the board. Every dragon must be different, so you can take a piece of this for each dragon. It's like, what is this dragon's thing going to be? That it has 2 breath weapons, that it's, something surprising, that it actually cannot take, don't know. Anyway, it's up to you, but it is something that would normally work, and you're like, this thing can't be stunned, this thing can't be, as soon as someone's stunned, a monk stuns your dragon, you want that next dragon to be absolutely impossible to stun. That's not just being sulky DM. Well, it is a bit. Hordes, I mean, I don't really care about the hordes. Yeah, what's in a horde? But I mean, there's nothing like, it's just a reward. Yeah, nice to have a list of money and stuff, because you sort of think, well, how much is there? But I would never consult these tables. I'd just be like, I don't know, too much for you to carry. That's what there is. There's 1 million gold pieces, but you're not going to carry 1 million gold, are you? I'd be like, you could probably make, if you take it in gems, you could probably get, more than in coin. I'd limit like that, You can't carry an entire horde, even though there's 4 or 5 of you. Plus, now that you've killed the dragon, everyone's going to be like, apparently the dragon's dead. Let's go. Let's go up there and plunder what we can. Draconomicon. It's a good word. Creating a dragon. Creating an amethyst dragon. Personalities. Yeah, that is a fair point, that they do have personalities, but you forever end up doing the same I know you're here. You know, you pick a dragon voice in your head, and you always come out with that. And whereas I think some will be quite scholarly. You know, greetings, adventurers. I don't know. Completely different personalities. Like bored, like comedic, welcoming. You know, everyone should be different. Oh, don't get me wrong, they'll turn in an instant, but yeah, they're like, because they can talk, they should have reason to have conversation. An amethyst dragon lair. This is useful. Because you just imagine a big cave, don't you? Which this kind of is, but it's useful to have a map. So the entrance to come in, how do they get down there? What, the car? But that makes sense because the dragon can come down from the top, like the chimneys. Oh yeah, another entrance there. I like that. Amethyst prefer lairs near water. That's all I need to know. Creating a black dragon. An ancient black dragon, after studying blasphemous texts dedicated to alien gods, issues a warning that a corrupted planetar will soon fall to Earth like a meteor in the fens outside a great city's walls. That's a very helpful dragon. Is this the black dragon lair? Yes. So what's going on here then? This is like a tower. To lair in swamps and jungles, it says there. So chapel forest. It's an old chapel. Very useful, actually. I take it back. I take it back. That I could actually use this each time. Yeah, it would make it very, very quick and easy. And it's doing what I basically have been spouting, that you should make them all very individual. But also, you can choose the map and say, well, a blue dragon, chose this, but now it flew off and it's a green dragon. I mean, you don't have to be. Hang on a minute, amethyst dragons have got to be near water, DM. You know what I mean? It's like, shut up. That explains that. Brass dragon. Come on, controls. How do we do it? There we go. Brass dragons prefer to make their lairs in hot, dry, rocky areas. Notice the word prefer. They prefer it, but beggars can't be choosers. Not with all these horde hungry adventure parties going around. So yeah, I get the message. It's nice to have a map. I mean, ultimately, wiggly wobbly corridors, you don't even have to map. I mean, you know, when it says like art, there's art and stuff. Where do these dragons get the art from? Like this, a dragon turtle. You know what size a dragon turtle is? Like immensely massive. And then all of a sudden, it's got a pipe organ that it refers to as bubbles, which works underwater. Where the hell did it get that? Does it go to like antique fairs? It's a bit stupid. I mean, I'm really in favour of the... Ooh, fairy dragons. Curious. Does it say... Okay, where does it say? Fairy dragons go where the fun is. What, like amusements? Something. For many, this means dwelling near portals to the Feywild. Yep, I'm on board with that. Lair actions. The fairy dragon creates misdirecting currents of air and magic around itself. Whenever a ranged attack misses a dragon, re-roll the attack against a random creature. Suckers. Love it. Creating a gold dragon. Okay, I'm getting the idea with this section. Gold, green, moonstone. I mean, you should only ever, I'm going to say this, speaking more about myself, you should only use a type of dragon once. Cross it off your list. Try and use every other dragon until you run it again. We do not want multiple red dragons just because you think they're the coolest. If you want different dragons, bear with me. I didn't realise I didn't put you back on that picture. Anyway, you've not missed anything. If you want different dragons, though, where is it? This. I've spoke about this before. Now I want full screen. My apologies. This is the book to get. But I was going to say Void Dragon out of Kobold Presses books. But yeah, I think once you've exhausted all the ones in this book, like, what the hell is that? Zuth the Eternal. Yeah. Excellent book. There's no need to use the same dragon twice. Bestiary. All right, now we got some stats. Check that you can see what I'm talking about. Oh, frig off, Christopher. There we go. Gargantuan Amethyst Dragon. AC 20. That's a lot of average hit points. Standard. So, yeah. Can even adult dragons fly 40 feet? That doesn't seem a lot for a Gargantuan. Mind you, is it slower because it's bigger? Not sure. Still only got 3 legendary resistances. I would make that 4. Dragon makes 1 bite. Okay. 2 claws. 19 average and 15 average. Plus 15. It creates a shining bead of gravitational force in its mouth. Yes. I want these things. Its speed becomes 0 until the start of the dragon's next turn. Yeah, I like that. Globe of Invulnerability. Shape change. Control. Yeah, transform into a person. Can teleport. That's all right. Yeah, so here we go. The Gargantuan dragon and the adult dragon has exactly the same movement speed, and so does a young one. It got me thinking about something like geese and that. I suppose baby geese, goslings. Oh, is that swans? Anyway, I suppose adults and kids can generally fly the same, but I suppose it's different than walking. Anyway, I just thought they'd be different. Even the young amethyst has a few spells, which they should. They should have magic. Nice art. Wormling no. Animated breath. A chromatic dragon's breath weapon is a manifestation of the energy that suffuses the dragon. Elemental creatures called animated breath. AC 15, about 100 average. Challenge 6. When created, the animated breath takes one of 5 forms, matching the creator's breath weapon. Does it say? It's a manifestation of the energy that suffuses the dragon. So I would say these should be used as minions. Swap out your kobolds. Fire aura. At the start of each of the breath Animated breath turns. Flammable objects in the area that are, being worn or carried burn. 2 slam attacks. Like wings. Just call it wing slam or lightning burst. You can teleport. Each creature near it takes 1d6 lightning damage. Just from being near it, teleporting away. Aspect of Bahamut. Because, if I'm right, my son explained this correctly to me, even Tiamat and other things like that, the real godly dragons, it's impossible for them to be in the material realm. So if you are fighting Tiamat, it's always an aspect of, it's like not a clone, but a projection is the best other word. It's a projection of, because the actual real full-on one cannot get in. That's what my boy told me. Yeah, a heck of a lot of hit points. AC 23, nice. A better speed, better fly. Yeah, you see, that's gargantuan. That's got proper up-tempo movement and stuff. Challenge 30. If the aspect would be reduced to 0 hit points, it instead goes to 500. He recharges a breath weapon. He regains any expended legendary resistances. Additionally, the aspect can now use their mythic actions. Boom! Mythic actions. Manifest 7 spectral ancient gold dragons around himself. He gains 77 temp hit points. Ooh. I like that. Conjures 4 enormous lances of magical force that plummet to the ground at 4 different points. Oh, yes, I would love to run the aspect of Bahamut fight. And again, Tiamat has to be not the real Tiamat. $60-foot speed. Wait, what's this one got? Yeah, 60 foot. Okay, so it's the same. That's nice. A lovely picture as well. But you can't be throwing Bahamut and Tiamat all the time. It's got to be a campaign. And I still don't think that they should be the main star. I think that should be a horrible surprise for the full effect. But if you're talking level 20 encounters, I suppose you are looking at this sort of thing. Ancient Deep Dragon. What is really reflective on his thoughts. Here we go. Make their lairs in the depths of the Underdark. Oh, I see. Gargantuan, but it was like plus 12 to hit, not plus 15 like the others. Cloud of Spores. 90-foot cone. DC 19 wisdom save or 9d10 psychic damage. And he's frightened. Frightened bores me. Dragon makes a tail attack. Yeah. So it's very spory. Okay. Spores of the Underdark. Oh, that's cool. Draco Hydra. Huge. Oh, it looks cool. That looks nice. 218 average. Multiple heads. Is it like a Hydra way it loses a head? Pardon me. Prismatic Breath. 60-foot cone. 33 average damage of the type chosen. I love that. The fact that you can actually look at your players and think, what is going to hurt these guys? These dragons. If you're ever going to get away with it, It's choosing dragons specifically to mess with their weaknesses. Draconic mages. I mean, there is a lot. What the hell is this? The Draconian Mastermind. How did he come about? The rarest and most powerful of the Draconians are the Masterminds, spellcasters, and strategists who often serve as military commanders. They emerge from amethyst dragon eggs. Lovely. What'd it do? AC 17. Not massive hit points. Speed 35, just to be a bit spicy. When the Draconian is reduced to 0, its magical essence lashes out in a lightning. At people. 2d8 lightning. And is stunned. Yes! Stunning my players. That's proper revenge. 3 rend attacks. Standardly boring. The Draconian exhales a 15-foot cone. DC 14 or 66 poison. And gains a level of exhaustion. Just that little extra insult at the end. Lovely. Draconic Shard. That's beautiful. Gem dragons wield psionic power, and when a powerful gem dragon perishes, the force of the dragon's will and mind sometimes refuses to pass on. The essence lingers in a shard. Typically a weapon. Right. So we want this thing to be infused in a weapon in the Dragon Horde at the end. This is your, sentient dragon weapon. So if maybe that will give resistance to acid, fire, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks to the player. Maybe that gives them telepathy. The Shard's AC includes its intelligence modifier. The AC is 17. Deflection. The Shard can move through creatures and objects as if it were difficult terrain. Incorporeal movement. Yeah, telepathy seems to be quite a big thing with it. Psychic Crush. Each creature of the Shard's choice in a 60-foot sphere must make a DC 20 thing or save or 10d10 psychic, and he's stunned. Yeah, but after you fought a dragon, you deserve something decent like that. Oh, Dragon Ooze. What's its special stuff? Slime Breath. Sprays at you. Burns your face off. Dragonbone Golem. Yeah, that's all right. A Dragonborn of Bahamut and Tiamat? Champions of the Queen are often called... Okay. These are just like people who love them. Is that a troll? In a way? Large monstrosity. Bipedal. This looks cool. This looks like Gratz. Demon Lord. Acolytes of Dragons. Dragonelle. I did a little shot on those. Dragon Turtles. Proper ancient monstrosities. But look at that. Cool. That looks like Tromacratis or something. Egg hunters are parasites that seek out dragon eggs. Yeah, that's cool. Elderbrain dragon. Beautiful. Absolutely lovely. Elderbrain dragons are absolutely something I would love to have in a game one day. Ancient Emerald Dragon. I mean, look, there's a lot of options. Drake. When a beholder. Oh, it's my favourite. It's my new favourite. When a beholder contends with a dragon for power and wealth, its thoughts of its dragon rival can become deeply obsessive, eventually pervading the beholder's dreams. Because they start again, Chris. Beholders dream other beholders into reality. That's how they get birthed. So, driven by instinct to jealously defend its hoard, an Drake fights to the death if anything threatens even the smallest trinket. That's cool. It flies, hovers, doesn't eat or drink. Plus 6 bite, 3d6, plus 3. Like a magical wave, boof, takes 39 average force damage. Knocked prone? No. Every spell of 3rd level or lower ends on creatures and objects of the choice in that area. Freezing ray, debilitating, repulsion, fire, paralyzing, death ray. But it's cool. I would like to have a miniature of that. Plonk that down on the table. Gem Great Worm, Gargantuan. Can you still see that? Right, AC 21. Again with the 60 feet, Gem Awakening. If the Great Worm is reduced to 0, resets to 400. This is not as good as the last big dude. Was that one of the aspects? The Great Worm exhales crushing force in a 300-foot cone. DC 25 or 71 force damage, and you're knocked prone. I don't really care about the knocked prone for that moment. So many dragons, and I don't think you should use them often. A ghost dragon, that's a nice idea. Huge undead. What's the challenge? Challenge 17. I'm going to say that does make sense. Ignore the frightened. Who cares? A horde mimic. That would be good. You kill the dragon, and then so you could lessen the dragon just to then have the horde attack. The mimic sprays a fine mist of acid. But why wouldn't the horde be attacking the dragon all the time? Tiny monstrosities. So these aren't even. They look like automatons, like modrons or whatever. But they're not. Hollow dragon. Unlike dragons who explore the magic of undeath for power, some metallic dragons see undeath as a means to pursue a noble purpose. Looks good. Fairly standard, though. Nothing too amazing about it. Sapping presence. Creature speed is halved. Yeah, fortunately, it's got nothing mega cool about its attacks. Great Worm. Looks cool. 4 legendary resistances. Thank you. Something slightly unexpected. Again, 300 con. DC 25 again. Falls unconscious. Yes. Shattering Roar. I always, DC 26, you think, oh my god, and then it does like 3d12 thunder damage. Challenge 28, I just don't think 3d12 is enough. because characters can, especially as D&D goes on, they can really get their hit points high, and with magical weapons and stuff, 3d12 is not going to trouble anybody. Topaz, yeah, I mean, okay, what's we got here? Okay, the list. Yeah, and is that it? I think that's it. Well. Dragons Den, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of repetition, and these things I think like some should be able to teleport, not themselves, but you over a cliff and just let go. Something unexpected like that. Things that the players can do. I mean, I can't think off the top of my head. I'd be looking for inspiration, but if they can do anything overpowered, can players? Mind power, Like if you're allowing mystics in your games, have a mystic dragon. I think to just make it cool. Make the attacks quite deadly. Have the melee people struggle to get on top of the damn thing. Or even within range of punching it, certainly. Because the dragons will look after themselves. And the dragons can always flee. Maybe don't always let them completely kill a dragon. The dragon will flee and think, sod this. I've got hordes all over. I don't need to protect this one. Yeah, that's what I would suggest. Yeah, I do like dragons. The lot of variety there. Really cool. And just pretty rare in my games, which that's how I do it. Any thoughts? Feel free to correct me, shout me down. And hey, thanks for your time. Good book, but I'll probably not look at for ages until I decide I need a dragon. And thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.